Hello, math learners. My name is Ruby Gupta and I'm your mathematics instructor. Today I will walk you through the lesson integers. So let's get started. Before we get started, let's understand what integers are. An integer is a whole number along with the positive or negative. As you can see on the number line, numbers on the right hand side are increasing like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The numbers on the left hand side are decreasing like -1, -2, -3, and so on. Here are some keywords we will use throughout this lesson. Like on the positive category, we have deposit, gain, above, credit, profit. Negative category, we have withdraw, loss, below, debit, debt. Neutral category, we have at sea level, break even. Do you know every real life situation can be written as an integer? Well, yes, and we will see in this video. Positive integers, as we move from 0 to the right, numbers are increasing, which means they are greater than 0. Negative integers, as you move from 0 to the left, numbers are decreasing, which means that the numbers are less than 0. 0 is also an integer, but neither positive nor negative. Tips on the number line. Any number to the left is smaller than any number to the right. As you can see on the number line, I just drew the arrow which is representing -1 is greater than -2 and -3 is less than -2, so on. Opposite numbers. Opposite numbers are numbers that are same distance from 0 in opposite direction. For example, the opposite of 1 is -1. The opposite of -3 is 3. The opposite of 15 is -15 and opposite of -25 is 25. Absolute value of a number is a distance from 0 to that number. Absolute value can never be negative. Here are some facts about the absolute value. Number one, the absolute value can never be negative. Number two, opposite number have the same absolute value. Take a minute to think about why they have the same value. Number three, the symbol of the absolute value is shown on the screen. Here are the few examples that you can work out to calculate the absolute value. Absolute value of -10 is 10. Absolute value of 11 is 11. And absolute value of 23.25 is 23.25 because they are the same distance from 0. Now, let's work out on these examples. I want you guys to try. Now, pause the video for a few minutes and I want you guys to try these. Here is a one word problem to try out now. The employees were looking at their bank account balance. Gomez is in $143 of debt. Cole is in $203 of debt. Ford is in $178 of debt. Simpson has a positive bank balance of $350. Who owes the most money? Like I said earlier, each situation can be represented by the integer. So Gomez debt can be represented by -$143. Cole's situation can be represented by -$203. Ford situation can be represented by -$178. Simpson has positive $350. As we can see, we are dealing with the money, so we have to talk about their absolute value. So Cole owes the most money because he has the most debt. Here is a word problem to try out. Jake and Joey went scuba diving all the way down to the 20 feet below sea level. Well, so which integer can be represented by this situation? It is -20. Another situation is what would 0 mean in this situation? 0 would mean that they are at the sea level on the surface. Which integer would represent 7 degrees below 0? -7. Which integer would represent $6 profit starting from $0? Taking the reference from the keyword, since it's a positive and it's a profit, so it will be +6. In real life, every integer can represent a situation. You see, here are the various examples. Comment me few more examples. Here is another situation. In this situation, think what 0 would represent. The Panthers lost 10 yards when Cam Newton gets sacked. Answer. The situation can be represented by -10. Zero would mean that they do not lose nor gain yards. Comment below for some real life example where you can use negative integers. Let's represent the situations on the number line. Kate had $10 in her bank account and she withdrew $12. How can we represent this situation in a drawing? You have to draw a number line in this situation and you have to explain whether you are in debt or you have some amount. She has $10 in her bank account and she went through 12. So we go 12 spaces to the left of 10 and you will land at minus 2 as you can see on my number line. So she has debt of $2. Here is another situation you have to analyze the error or somebody's thinking. At farmers market, there are vendors who sell fruits, vegetables, meat, cheeses, breads, and other items. Suppose you borrow $9.75 from your friend Kara to buy vegetables, and then you borrow $3.99 from your friend Mindy to buy fruit. Let's look Mindy's thinking. Suppose Mindy says that she can represent the amounts in this situation with the numbers negative 9.75 and negative 3.99. She says that because negative 3.99 is greater than negative 9.75, you owe her more money that you owe Kara. Is Mindy correct? Explain your analysis well. I thought she is wrong. What is your thinking? As we know, for the money we have to use the absolute value. But absolute value of 9.75 is greater than absolute value of negative 3.99. So you owe Kara 9.75, which is greater than you owe the money to Mindy. As we discussed already about the absolute value. So here are the solutions. You have to talk about absolute value of x is equal to 4. As we discussed already, the absolute value describes the distance from the 0 to that number. In this question, you have to answer the question. The distance from 0 to that number is 4. So only set A satisfies that equation. Here are the few real life situations where you can use integers and work on your own in comments below. A gain of 6 lbs, a deposit of $15. Score 10 points 5 years ago, 2 kilometers below the surface, 9 feet below sea level, 15 seconds before blast off, a withdrawal of $14, a debt of $12, a gain of 9 yards. Here are the operations with the integers. We have our four usual operations with integers as we used to have with the numbers: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But we have to use certain rules to follow them. Addition and subtraction of our integers. To add, subtract two integers, we need to follow the rule. Same sign add, different sign subtract, keep the sign of the larger number. Like I showed in the slide, negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. Because 10 and 2 are the different side, so I subtract the number, which is 10 minus 2 is 8. 10 and 2, 10 is negative, so I tack on the negative sign of the 10. So it's a negative 8. Same way, negative 10 minus 2 is minus 12. These two are the same sign, so I add them. 10 plus 2 is 12, 10 is negative, so I just did minus 12, and so on. Subtraction of an integer. Subtraction of an integer is a little tricky. We cannot subtract the integer like we used to do the real number. We have to use the rule KCC, also known as a keep change change. So the steps are: keep the first number as it is, change the subtraction sign to the addition, change the sign of a second number. If it is positive, change it to the negative. If it is negative, change it to the positive. For example, positive 7 minus minus 7. I said keep, so keep first number as it is, negative turn to be the positive, and as well as change the sign of the second integer, which is positive 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14. Now I want you to try a few more examples. Pause the video for a few minutes and work on those examples on your own. I will just do another separate video for these problem sets and their solutions. Multiply and divide. If you have even numbers of negative sign, then product quotient will be positive or else negative. Or you can think of positive time positive is positive, positive time negative is negative, negative time negative is positive, negative time positive is positive. Here are the few examples that you've shown on the screen. Negative 5 times negative 10. Just multiply 5 and 10, which is regular 50. And since you have even number of negatives, so answer will be positive. Negative 10 times negative 12 is negative positive 120. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, and so on. Divide, again we have the same rule. If you have even number of negative signs, that quotient will be positive or else negative. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 is negative positive 2. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. 2 divided by 4 is half. Although it's not an integer, so I will be doing another video for rational numbers, but I just want you to show you can have rational number as well while doing the integers. Here are the few word problems for the multiply and divide of the integers. Try it on your own and send me the answer in the comments below. Wrap up. Mixed problem sets. An airplane is flying at an altitude of 1,820 feet to avoid an air pocket. The airplane descends 330 feet and then quickly ascends 1,200 feet. What is the altitude of the airplane now? Here are the two more word problems. Please work on your own and send me your answer in the comments below. Here are the few properties that we can use with the integers. Addition is commutative and associative. Multiplication of integers is also commutative and associative. When you multiply by a 1 in any integer, you will get the number itself. When you multiply by 0 in any integer, you will get the 0. When you multiply by minus 1 in any integer, you will get opposite of that number. When you add 0 in any integer, you will get the integer itself. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.